Jeff Gordon leading the race. Brad Kozlowski in charge of the championship. After what it's been, it's fair to say, one of the more tumultuous weeks of his storied NASCAR Sprint Cup career. Checkered flag and a win at Homestead from Jeff Gordon.
I'm proud of you guys. That was awesome.
It may be an underrated victory and overshadowed by the championship, but for this, it's big. For Jeff Gordon, you proved last week you're a fighter and you won't give up. Jeff, what does it mean to end the season in victory lane?
Oh my God, it means so much. I mean, this is for DuPont right here, 20 years. That is a long time to be together with a sponsor. For them to commemorate that with this awesome paint scheme with this silver car means so much. I knew we had a great race car going into the race. And, you know, at times I didn't think we had a winning car. But you know what, we played the strategy perfectly and we had a really good car. And, you know, it's just unbelievable to experience this, you know, after last week, you know, and then to come here and battle like this and end up in victory lane is just unreal.
Good lap. All clear, all clear. Good lap. All right, here comes the 18 for fuel, now pit road. Keep doing what you're doing. Good pace. 13 to go. Doing good here, breaking even. The 55 ahead of him. All clear. $11 to go here, 11. Still there. All clear, all clear. A little bit more. A little bit more. Get treated at 51 on tires. Looking inside. Still there. Still there, still there. All clear. You can back it down a little bit more for me.
All right, at the line, be 7 to go. 7 at the line. Got traffic ahead here. .42 into 34. All clear, all clear. .34 and a very slow 47 up top, very slow. There are 2 of them, 5 to go with the line, doing good. Clear ahead. Still there. Still there now. All clear, all clear.
Do we need to worry about that 99? No, do not worry about the 99. You're doing good. Just worry about the 15. That's it.
You're in good shape, bud. Just keep doing what you're doing. 3 to go at the line.
Keep saying for it, bud. 3 more. You're doing good. Keep saying for me. He's not coming on you.
Coming to 2 to go here. You're in good shape. All right, coming to the white flag. You're in good shape here. That 3 on the 99, it means nothing. Two with a run coming. Coming to the checker. On your bumper. Looking inside. He's there. Just let him go. Coming to the checker. You got 12 calling to the 15. That's the way to wrap the season up, boys. Way to go, Jeff.
Woo! Man, I'm proud of you guys. That was awesome.
Good job, boys.
Great race there, Jeff. Way to fight, guys. Way to fight. Y'all deserve that one. talking about, guys. Man, that's awesome. That's great way. Give us some momentum from next year, buddy.
A little, buddy.
How about that, boss?
The wing base, huh? Hey, the boss called it before the race. That's exactly what he said we were going to do.
I don't know where Victor Lane is, so.
Jeff Gordon with a Goodyear camera.
And Jeff Gordon coming behind him.
And Jeff Gordon joining into the fray there. And this continuing to be a race for 10th, 11th, and 12th, Doc.
And Jimmy Johnson says his car is a bit free coming off turns 1 and 2. And now he will get a challenge from Jeff Gordon. Jimmy said before the race, if I try to throw a Hail Mary at these speeds too early, I'll get in trouble. I got to wait till the car comes to me. And right now he's having a bit of an issue right there with the car getting a bit free coming off 2 and headed down the back straight.
I'd have to say they might be ready to make some adjustment then if we keep talking about this track freeing up, which we heard pretty much every driver last night, and most of them that I talked with are anticipating that type of scenario this evening too.
Tony Stewart, Kevin Harvick, Eric Almirola, Jamie McMurray, Denny Hamlin also in. Here comes Jimmy Johnson with Jeff Gordon coming to the pit lane here. Doc?
See there with Brad Keselowski, he literally lost 3 spots there to the 5. The 24 and 48, just by staying out there a lap longer.
With Lowe's.
Yeah, sure has. That's just outstanding performance during this chase time.
And Jeff Gordon behind him. This team's been angry all season long at Clint Boyer. Crew Chief Alan Gustafson, as they go side by side, told me Jeff wrecked him for the team. He didn't do it for selfish reasons. He did it to stand up for them, and they do not fault him for that. His car this run, Alan, is getting better.
Of course, Jeff Gordon fined $100,000 by NASCAR, docked 25 championship points for that late race incident in Phoenix last weekend. Your thoughts on what happened there in Phoenix first, and then will it carry over right now?
Well, let me address first about right now. I'm not sure that 4th place means that much to Jeff Gordon right at this point in time. I don't think he's sure exactly how Boyer gotten over this, but I think what Jeff Gordon, as a competitor, I understand getting to that level. Not saying it was the right thing to do, but sometimes you just feel like that's what you have to do.
Now, he's got to be careful right now, though. Like you said, he didn't know just how much Clint Boyer is over this thing. This is the first time we've seen them run side by side since the incident. I see Jeff kind of taking it easy, being a little bit careful. I think he wants to make sure that he can make a good, clean pass before he gets up there and starts running wheel to wheel with Clint.
Jeff said his regrets about it were letting the emotions get the best of him. He said that wasn't the way he should have dealt with it, but that it did need to be dealt with.
Now, there were people that said, well, it wasn't something you should expect out of a four-time champion. Well, he didn't feel like he'd been treated like a champion over the last few weeks with Clint Boyer and the way he got wrecked earlier in the year at Martinsville, and I think it just kept building up, like you said, to him. He just had enough.
Been plenty of champions through many kinds of sports and even businesses that sometimes lost their cool in certain situations.
Fourth place here. And Gordon's going to slide up in front of Boyer and claim that spot. Kick Clint back to fifth. Jimmy Johnson in sixth. Brad Keselowski up to eighth after restarting in 13th. Everybody's chasing, as they have been most of this race. Kyle Busch. Jeff Gordon's fifth.
The 24 behind us has to pit one.
And that 48's keeping his eye on the 24, his teammate. They don't want the 24 to get around Johnson to lose those points. Jeff Gordon been pretty good all weekend. It has been calm. Not a lot of adjustments. Today been loose and tight. Track bar next stop, Dave.
Jamie back and forth on the stretch.
Keep an eye on Brandon Harder, left rear. He's the gas man. Gotta get it full. Brandon got to pack it. Got to pack it. Talking to Brandon. He's in it full. Chassis adjustment, 4 tires. That may be the last time that Jimmy Johnson's on pit road.
Might have missed the load. Yeah, I think he might be coming back, Doc.
Could be a critical mistake.
Saw that official.
We got to come back in.
Oh,
wow.
Boy.
Oh, my gosh.
We talked about the pressure on the pit crews. A mistake there.
You know you can. Come on back down pit road. Is that right, Jet? Yep, 10-4.
Very, very costly mistake. They were waiting on fuel anyway, so there wasn't a lot of pressure on the tire changers to try to be quick.
And it's one thing to make a mistake early in the race. You have time to recover from it.
In the boxer.
Another to make it now.
Ready? Go, Mego, go, Mego, go, Mego.
In the race for speed, one was missing.
But a pivotal moment in the championship. Jimmy Johnson possibly in the catbird seat until this last pit stop. You can see the official on the top right of the screen pointing, not getting all those lug nuts on. Ray, that was probably it for Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson is off the pace. And Jimmy Johnson is on the apron on the access road to the inside. Look at the smoke inside the car. And no, that's not coming out of Jimmy's ears.
I thought I saw something coming out of the back of the right rear of the car, but I thought maybe it was sand coming up off the track because it was running really high, but it must be something else. Doc?
They're thinking it's a drivetrain problem. They're looking under the car. There's not a vibration, something rubbing. And they said maybe it's a drivetrain coming through the firewall. The smoke got worse. Now Jimmy has shut the engine off, fired it back up. And apparently they are done. And the championship for 2012 will not go to Jimmy Johnson.
While the third place car, running some 15 seconds behind them, Jeff Gordon is in position to try and make it to the finish with the fuel he has on board. 15 seconds is a long time on a 1.5-mile racetrack. We wait on Jeff.
It'll certainly bring up a lot of conversation if he should go on and win this race. Of all those people that thought that he shouldn't even be here, he should be suspended for his actions last week.
Jeff Gordon is the race leader. Jeff has a 2-second lead on Clint Boyer. They are on the similar fuel schedule. So now the question is, do they have enough to make it to the checkered flag? And ironically, finish 1 and 2. And you see top of the screen at the moment as they run, Boyer has overhauled Jimmy Johnson for second in the championship. That's worth a pretty good chunk of cash.
You see Gordon has got about a little over 2-second lead, so he can't really just start soft pedaling and try to save fuel. Yeah. He may end up having to race Clint Boyer before this one's over.
Yeah, he may have to. Boyer was in 2 laps before him in that last one, so I'm not sure if Boyer's going to be able to run hard enough, or is he still trying to save enough just to get to the end. But, wow, how strange things happen in this sport. 2 competitors that were in a big, literally, brawl on the racetrack and off last weekend. And here they are trying to decide who's going to win this last race of the year.
Both coming away from it less than satisfied with the outcome of both the on-track and off-track activities. And now here they are, 1 and 2 in the final laps of this one. And should circumstances turn up, could be side by side for a late restart, or nose to tail racing for the checkered flag in the final laps. We'll see.
But if Boyer could get to him, I'd put a lot of money on what would happen from there.
If he could catch him.
If he could get there.
Thinking we'd see a little bump and run?
At the very least.
What a frustrating season it's been for Jeff Gordon. Such high hopes of being one of the people racing for this championship. Coming into the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup, worked so hard across the summer months to rally to get into the championship by that slimmest of margins over Kyle Busch on the final qualifying night in Richmond, if you will. And then in the very first chase race, had a mechanical problem under the hood of his car that threw him hard into the turn 1 wall at Chicagoland and set them so far back they've never been able to recover.
Yeah, they fought after that, kept fighting and had some good finishes, and then just seemed like problem after problem kept on. But this team has continued to battle, and I think that's a sign of a great champion there and a really solid crew behind him.
So Gordon and Boyer racing for the win here. They're 14 seconds ahead of third place Eric Almirola. Do they have enough fuel to the finish, and how does that play out in the final 4 laps? Boyer eating into Gordon's gap little by little each lap around.
Yeah, he's closing it down. If Gordon has to save any fuel at all and Boyer doesn't have to, he might can get to that back bumper.
Brad Keselowski still in 17th position, a lap down after the insurance pit stop. Just working his way through these final laps on his way to a championship. Dale, a story that you can certainly relate to, a local short track racer, the son of a racer, started out knocking around on the same short tracks where his dad did, and trying to follow in the footsteps of an accomplished father in the sport. Never the easiest thing. Finding funding, finding opportunities. And yet, this young man has shown that for a local short track racer in this modern day and age of NASCAR, you can still find a way all the way to the top.
Yeah, some of those stories that he was talking about where he'd carry a little briefcase and had his books in there and, to read about chassis. I don't know if I was doing that, but I was certainly around the racetrack a lot with my dad. And you know, just because your father has been successful, there are no guarantees. You have to continue to work hard. And Brad Keselowski has certainly done that. And it's just been fun to watch him come through the Nationwide Series, become a champion there, and then quickly take this Roger Penske team to a championship.
Jeff Gordon has stabilized the lead over Clint Boyer. Boyer slipping back a little bit from where he was a couple of laps ago. Do they have enough fuel to make the final 3 miles here at Homestead and get to the checkered flag 1 and 2?
I'm sure as Boyer came in here, though, he really wasn't thinking about it. He knew he was in a battle for the 3rd spot. All of a sudden, the doors open for him to finish 2nd in the points.
With all they've accomplished, almost unfathomable that Hendrick Motorsports has never won at this Homestead Miami Speedway. They are 1 lap away. His team's pit down from the top of the tower for the final lap. Jeff Gordon leading the race. Brad Keselowski in charge of the championship. After what has been, it's fair to say, one of the more tumultuous weeks of his storied NASCAR Sprint Cup career, checkered flag, and a win at Homestead for Jeff Gordon.
I'm proud of you guys. That was awesome.
Back on an amazing year, and just a ton of effort from everybody at Hendrick Motorsports.
Well, the most overshadowed victory of the season is the win in the last race while the champion's recognized, but Jeff Gordon is going to end this season in victory lane. We go there presented by Tire Rack.
victory and overshadowed by the championship. But for this, it's big for Jeff Gordon. You proved last week you're a fighter and you won't give up. Jeff, what does it mean to end the season in victory lane?
Oh my God, it means so much. I mean, this is for DuPont right here, 20 years. That is a long time to be together with a sponsor. For them to commemorate that with this awesome paint scheme with this silver car means so much. I knew we had a great race car going into the race. And, you know, at times I didn't think we had a winning car. But you know what? We played the strategy perfectly and we had a really good car. And, you know, it's just unbelievable to experience this, you know, after last week, you know, and then to come here and battle like this and end up in victory lane is just unreal. So I got to thank Drive to End Hunger, DuPont, Pepsi, Quaker State, Chevrolet, you know, everybody that makes it. This team is just awesome. I love Alan Gustafson. This is a great way for us to end this season. I know it's about the championship, so turn it over to the champion.
Well, Jeff, hold on. There was a lot in the news this week, of course, regarding you. And then, of course, you and Clint Boyer end the race as his kids come into victory lane. You two battling at the end. Jeff, is this just redemption after what happened last week?
Can you believe that? You know, I mean, there was one restart where I had Joey and maybe even Eric and Clint right there surrounding me. And, you know, we, you know, that thing is gonna work itself out some way through racing. And, you know, I felt terrible about how I went about it. And I still regret the way I went about it. And, you know what, but I can't take it back. What we can do is look forward and race guys as hard and clean as we possibly can. And, you know, this is a great way to get some positive things going because this year's been real up and down. So this is awesome to be able to have my family here in victory lane. Got to thank Sprint, all the fans. What an amazing, you know, turnout this has been for this final race and the championship battle. And I got to take my hat off to Jimmy Johnson and that team too. They did an excellent job battling for this championship. I know they didn't win it, but you know what? They were up against somebody really incredible, you know, and Brad, they did an excellent job, Paul Wolf, and I got to say congratulations to Roger Penske on his first championship. That I know how much that means to Roger being in the sport as long as he has.
Let's go back upstairs to Alan.
Jeff Gordon wins the race.
Congrats once again to Jeff Gordon, who actually won this race.